Thank you for joining me today as we view this edition of My Journey. I am Marsona Jackson, and I am here today to review for you my journey this past year. Today we will walk through my challenge-based research as we discover how engaging educators using media-rich professional development and tools to be used in the classroom, and how these tools can increase student engagement as well as student learning. My CBR project was supported by several courses here at Full Sail. Some include multiple learning theory applications where I learned when presenting to my students I have to construct lessons that will allow learning for my visual, audible, and kinesthetic learners. Emerging technologies in a collaborative culture introduced me to the world of Web 2.0, opening up never-ending learning opportunities and possibilities through the use of the World Wide Web. Digital media and education introduced me to the possibilities of creating interactive and fun learning environments through the use of programs like Flash. And game strategies and motivation helped me realize and understand the importance of gaming in the classroom, where learning is made fun and invigorating and learning takes place even when the students don't realize it is happening. In conducting my research, I noted in my literature review, experts such as Polly and Hannafin both agree that professional development is the process of educators learning necessary skills for creating and facilitating innovative classroom instruction that increases student learning. My journey begins with defining what is media-rich professional development. Noted author Pamela Havis defined media-rich professional development as content used in professional development filled with a variety of text, graphics, animation, sound, and interactivity not found in traditional professional development. In other words, engagement via visual interactivity. Which leads us to our next question. How does media-rich professional development affect teachers and students? Now let's hear from some experts on the subject.
I do believe that professional development, which is media-rich, will influence the classroom atmosphere. It's a twofold way that it would influence the classroom atmosphere. First, because the teacher is really engaged. They've gone out and they've actively sought, or they've been asked to attend this workshop. And they're really engaged because it's actually technology that we're using today. So they're learning just as the students are learning. The second part of it is that the students will be engaged because they're going to know that their teachers are actually on top of it. They understand technology. They know that technology is what is interesting to them. And so they're going to be more apt to listen to things as the teacher instructs them based on the use of that rich media technology.
So we can conclude that media-rich content affects teaching techniques of educators as well as how students learn. The fact remains, we are in the 21st century and our students require more than educational traditions in the classroom. To begin the process of finding out how much of an impact technology has on the teaching techniques of educators, I started phase 1 of my challenge research to obtain data that would show that educators understood only a little about using technology in the classroom. More than 90% of educators realize that using media-rich content directly affects how teachers educate students in the classroom. And less than 10% of educators felt that their students only needed traditional books, worksheets, and overheads to learn. At the beginning of the process, only 82% of educators surveyed understood what Web 2.0 tools were, not realizing they were already using them via applications such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Digo, and etc. Although less than 40% of educators were not sure if students learn best using technology and web tools, more than 60% strongly believe they did. So with that being said, is technology in professional development and also in the classroom really necessary? Well, let's see what another professional has to say about that.
It says, is technology helpful? And then is professional development uses technology to help motivate our teachers, okay? So this is what I think. All students in math are so very visual. Technology is a tool to keep them engaged, so make it ritual. But the thing about professional development is focused more extremely on the content. So we need the more knowledge to teach content by technology to increase engagement of our students so content becomes popularity.
To begin Phase 2, I conducted a poll survey with my target audience of educators to determine if educators prefer using technology compared to traditional educational means and help them realize just how much time they actually do spend on computers and on the web. With that, an astounding 85% of educators spent 10 to more than 20 hours per week online, with 92% of the same group using that time for collaborating. Of my target audience of educators, only 15% preferred learning with books, worksheets, and handouts. More than 50% preferred technology, and just over 30% preferred either or. In this 21st century age of technology, I was shocked that 85% of those surveyed believe students learn best using technology, and 92% agreed student engagement is increased using that technology. A resounding 93% of those surveyed believe that students learn best using computers and not just with books and handouts. Though it is agreed that books and handouts are necessary, technology cannot be placed on the back burner when educating the digital natives of today. Now let's see what Dr. West feels about technology in the classroom.
So how has having a smart board and using smart board technology increased the engagement of your students in class?
The students are much more engaged in the classroom. They actually get to participate in the lessons. They get to sometimes write on the smart board and move manipulatives out to the tiles on the smart board. And the results of their tests on various tests, obviously they increase because they're more actively engaged and participatory in each lesson.
Phase 2 of this challenge-based research concluded with finding out just how the students felt about learning using technology. They were to create a presentation using presentation software such as PhotoStory, PowerPoint, Animoto, and Prezi. Oddly enough, most selected the PowerPoint even though it was twice as much work. Most felt more comfortable using PowerPoint because of the lack of exposure to other programs. Next, we will hear from some of our students about what they think of using technology in the classroom.
And what do you think about blogging in school?
I think it's fun and you get to interact more than just writing on papers and teachers just asking certain people questions.
What does Web 2.0 mean to you?
It gives me the opportunity to take an assignment, create a learning experience that I can not only share with my teachers, but with my friends.
So this brings us to our final question. Which do we choose as our educational tools of choice? Will it be the traditional books, worksheets, and handouts, or will it be technology? After conducting extensive research on this subject this past year during my journey at Full Sail through my challenge-based research, I'm sure educators everywhere will agree that we need them all. In other words, my research alludes to the fact that as educators, we must be lifelong learners, willing to attend professional development full of media-rich technology that we can bring back to our students, ensuring that we attend to students of all learning styles. This brings us to the conclusion of this edition of my challenge-based research journey. And I want to end with this. Just as I predicted, educators prefer learning using media-rich technology. And since we do, then how can we expect our students to learn any differently? But before I end, I must make mention of 2 more classes here at Full Sail that have made my journey complete. First is my Musical Theory and Education's practice course that have helped me to create music that flows with my lessons and my videos. The next is my Filmmaking Principles and Education's course that have helped me to create memorable videos just like the one you're viewing today. We owe it to this generation and to generations to come to provide them with the tools necessary to be productive citizens in this 21st century. So with that, I am Marsona Jackson, and you have just viewed today's edition of My Journey.